Hello everyone, this is Candy the 614 Stitcher, and today is Sunday, December the 14th, 2025. This is my Flosstube 152. I would like to say hello and welcome to any and all new subscribers. I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to check out to see if I can interest you in a project or two. And to my returning friends, thank you so very much for coming back each and every time that I do upload a video. It's been a busy couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks since I recorded a video. It's a little difficult when you have other people living in your home to find time to record. Albert, he is whining. He has been staring at the door. My son has left the house, and Albert is just standing here in the kitchen whining, waiting for my son to come back. So you will probably hear him whining. I've tried to get him to go lay down, and he is just not having it. So it's been a busy couple of weeks, you know, getting ready for the holidays and work and all of that. And so I've just been stitching and waiting for a chance to be able to get back to record a video for you all. Again, it's a little difficult when you have other people living in your house, and I just don't have like a set schedule to where I'll be home alone in order to record a video. Hopefully it'll get better. I may have to go somewhere else to record videos or something, because I don't want to keep doing it every 2 weeks. I like the weekly. I like recording videos weekly. So this time I actually have quite a few from November and December. I'm going to give you my November stats and my starts, whips, and I actually have a salve. I attended the Jingle Ball, and I did notice an uptick in my subscribers. So thank you very much. If we met at the Jingle Ball, I had a blast. I will be participating in these in those virtual retreats again. It was so wonderful. And I was in the Needle Droppers Anonymous room all weekend long, and I had a blast. And so if we met at the Jingle Ball, thank you so very much for hanging out. It was great fun. The very first night I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning stitching and having a blast. So I will definitely be doing the virtual retreat again. I know that Stephanie Webb puts on 2 other retreats that I'm going to look at getting into also. It was so good. It was great. So if we met at the Jingle Ball, hello, and thank you for subscribing to my videos. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Like I said, I have a limited amount of time. I don't know when everybody will be back. So I'm going to go ahead on and get started. And we're going to start with my November stats. I had a very productive November. I had 7 starts in November, which I'm going to have to go back through and see. But I think November was I started the most projects in the month of November. I had 1 finish. I worked on 16 different whips. I stitched 30 days, and I had a total of 13,043 stitches for the month. Gridiron Grind has really boosted my numbers with having to stitch every week on 2 football projects. So I'm sure that number is due to Gridiron Grind. Now I'm going to go ahead on and work into my starts. This is going to be for the last week my last video was Thanksgiving Day. So I'm going to, this video will encompass that last week of November all the way through to today. So for November the 27th, I had a Thanksgiving Day start. And it was Be Ye Thankful, which I had shared in my plans by the Cricut Collection. And here is where I did get to. I added 347 stitches for this project. I am stitching this on a 40 count Smoky Quartz by Fiber on a Whim. And I am using DMC colors, the DMC floss for this. So I put in the bee, and these are leaves here. This is going to be a very nice stitch. The next part that has to be put in is this house. So it's going to be, I actually thought it was going to be smaller than this, but it's still going to be, you know, a petite size. So that's where I am with that project. And so I had a, it is 146 wide by 82 high. So it's a medium project. And so I am hoping that it won't take me 5 years to stitch on it. So that was Be Thankful, or Be Ye Thankful, because I have a Be Thankful also that I worked on. And that was my Thanksgiving Day start. The next project that I started, I actually started on Black Friday, which was November the 28th. And I also, as you know, I participate in Sammy J. Whippagori's. And so I also had to work on it for the month of December. And that project is, it was a new start for Black Friday. And it was Doodles Christmas by Heart and Hand. And when I first stitched on it for Black Friday, I put in 222 stitches. I also had to stitch on it for Whippagori's, which is by Sammy J. And it was the newest start for the month of December. So that's why I'm showing it to you now. And for that, I put in another 222 stitches. So for a total okay, so for the new start, I put in 233 stitches. For Whippagori's, I put in another 222 stitches for 455 stitches. Oh my goodness. And so this is where it is now. I am stitching this on a 32 count Pale Fawn by Color and Cotton. And I am using the called for over dies. If you have been following me this year, I have been doing all kinds of new starts for Heart and Hand. I love Miss Cecilia Turner, and I have really been on the start all the Heart and Hand this year. So that is where I am now. This is the ornament. It's complete. The tree is complete, and this is the beginning of the stocking here. So that is where I am now with it. I hope he's not going to calm down. I just hope that you all don't hear him very much. There is nothing wrong with him except for he has turned into a whiner. So he's fine, Carolyn. He's fine. He's just whining because Ryan is not here. So that was my Doodles Christmas, and I did a Thanksgiving Eve start. I did a Thanksgiving Day start, and then I did a Black Friday start. So that was 3 starts, boom, 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 right there. Then today started the 3rd annual, I don't know, should I say annual? The 3rd Sunshine Stitchers. EJ from the Sunshine Stitchers this is the 3rd year that, and I have participated in all 3 years, where she is doing a year-long SAL, where she takes a chart and cuts it up into 12 months. It actually starts, it's 13 months, because we start in December of the year prior. And then we work on it all year long until next December. So that chart is Elegant Lace by Works by ABC. And here is where the chart where she has taken the chart and separated it out. So each month we will stitch on, you know, part of the chart. I am stitching with 40 count Verdal Huckleberry by Bestitch Me, and I am using hand dye by Rolanda Vintage Purple, and this is where I am as of right now. So this is the very, I have a lot more to go for the month of December, but this is the very start here, going down and across. This chart has both full crosses and half cross. And so what I am showing you is those are all the full crosses so far. I'm using 1 thread for this. So it's 1 thread over 2 for both the cross, the full cross, and the half cross. I added exactly 200 stitches to this today. I will be stitching on it some more later on today, so you will see it again next time I do post a video. So that is Elegant Lace. That is our year-long sale for the Sunshine Stitchers. Please, we just started today. You can get the chart off of Etsy, pull fabric and floss, and start along with us. I have really enjoyed these yearly stitch-alongs. It gives me an opportunity to work on a chart and know that at the end of the 13 months, I will have a completed chart pattern. And Elegant Lace is very beautiful. So it'll be, it's also different in that it's full crosses and half crosses. So that'll be different also. And that just started today. So now I'm going to share with you my November whips. I had met all of my November goals when I had my last video. And so I had to pull something forward. One of the things I decided to do is look at my year of whips. And I have 3 projects that I still need to get finished. They probably will not be finished this year, but I had 3 more projects that I wanted to put some work in. And so I pulled out Kaleidoscope by Lori Holt, and it is in this quilt book. And here is what they do still sell this book at the Fat Quarter Shop. It is actually a quilt book, but she put a cross stitch pattern in it also. And this is what it looks like. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where I am now. So I actually had a page finish when I last shared this. I put in 531 stitches on this. So I completed this section over here, this section here, and I believe part of this section here. Maybe it was just this one and this one. But now I have the top half of it completely finished. So now I need to work on the bottom half. This was on my year of whips for this year. However, it will not get completed. And it's sad because I just didn't keep it in the forefront enough for me to work on it, because I should have been able to finish it. But I'm going to put it on my year of whips for 2026, because I only have the bottom half, which is the same as what this is. I am stitching this on a white 18 count Ada, and I'm using DMC colorway. And this is actually called the Ocean colorway. She has several different colorways within the chart that you can stitch it in. So that is where I am with Kaleidoscope. And again, it will go on my year of whips for next year, because I only have the half to do. I'm already formulating my plans for next year. As many of you all are also, I'm sure. And it is my hope to have a plans video come out in the next 2 weeks, week and a half or so. And so you'll see what I'm actually planning for a year of whips going for 2026. That brings me to Gridiron Grind, and I'm stitching Gridiron Grind for 2 football teams. Ohio State University, which is a college football team, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is my professional team. For the Ohio State University, I am stitching on Colors of the Season, and I have shown it in the past. I don't have a printout of it. But here is a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So I have actually been stitching. I turned this also into my daily stitch. One of 2 reasons. I want this finished before the start of winter, which winter starts on December the 21st, and I needed to get it done. So on November the 29th, Ohio State beat Michigan 27-9, and I added 413 stitches. Yes, I added for them winning. I would have normally added 270 stitches, but I added 413 stitches. Then on December the 6th, Ohio State played Indiana in the national championship game, and they lost by 3 points. I was devastated. The score was 10-13. And for that, I added, it looks like 141 stitches. I have all of these numbers because I literally stitched on it every day for 2 weeks. Because I put in a total of 2,379 stitches on this project. As you can see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This project will be done this week. Again, it has to be done before the 21st, which is Sunday. And so I will be, the next video you see this in, it will be a finish. Yeah, because I put in, 2,379 stitches. I'm using the called for DMC. This is a Carolyn Manning design. And for those of you that have been here, or if you're new, I love Carolyn Manning designs. I love the geometric shapes. So I have a lot of her charts in my rotation. So I stitched this on an 18 count. Harvest Moon by Forbidden Fiber Co. So it will be done. It will probably be done tomorrow. I am on vacation for this week. And so I probably will finish it tomorrow. It'll definitely be finished by Sunday. So that was my gridiron grind for college. I will be doing this again next year. For the professional team, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers, I am doing the Pittsburgh Steeler helmet. And here's a picture of where it was the last time I shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So on 11/30, November the 30th, the Steelers played the Bills and they lost 7-26. So I had to add 70 stitches, which was black. I've started stitching in the black. On December the 7th, they played the Ravens and won, and the score was 200 was, God, that would have been something. The score was 27-22, and so I had to add 270 stitches for that. And again, more black. So tomorrow night they play the Dolphins. So I'll be adding whatever stitches they get tomorrow in for the Dolphins. But this is where I am right now for it. And I'll just be filling in more black as we go down. I do need to go to the store. I have ran out of this 413 color because this whole, the circle here is 413 and white. And so I need to go to Michael's and pick up some 413. Can I just say, I'm going to just say this. I really miss Joann's because it's the DMC at Michael's is just, it's terrible. We need to, it's just terrible. Anyway, so this is where I am, and I'll be stitching the black in because literally that is what I have left. Oh my goodness, I got a needle on here. And I have gotten to the point where literally I stitch to the 270, I stitch to whatever number it is, and then I stop, which is why I have a hanging thread. So when I, when they play tomorrow night, I'm actually hoping that I will be able to, the game doesn't start until 8 o'clock at night or something. So I may stitch a little while they're playing, and then I will finish it up on Tuesday or something. So I really have enjoyed Gridiron Grind. Next year, I'm already thinking next year I'm going to do something a little different with it, but it has really been fun following my Steelers again and getting back into football. I'm still not watching the games, but I'm enjoying like looking up the score and stitching and all of that. So maybe next year I'll be able to actually watch the games and, my blood pressure will not be through the roof. So for the last Sunday in November, I have a last Sunday stitch of the month, and that is Poppies. It's called Purple Poppies, and it's by Carolyn Manning. it's a group that I stitch with, and we're all working on a Carolyn Manning project. And so here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. I added, oh, I didn't tell you. Oh, yes, I did. So for the Steelers, I added a total of 340 stitches in those 2 weeks for Gridiron and Grind. For Purple Poppies, I added 440 stitches. And what that is I literally went all the way to the edge. So this is as big as it will be. And I filled in these colors here. And I came back and filled in this also here. I am stitching this on an 18 count Heather by Fiber on a Whim, and I am using the called for DMC. And the next time I share this, I'll have a print off of what it actually will look like. I just was able to get my printer ink cartridges, so I'll be able to share that next time. But I love working on this. Again, Carolyn Manning is one of my favorite designers. The bulk of her projects are full coverage. This will be a full coverage project, so I am really enjoying it. I hope you're not hearing him, because he's really. So now I'm going to share with you my December whips. Again, I am participating, and I will also be participating in 2026 with Whipagories, which is categories that are put out by Sammy J every month. Here she is on Instagram and Flosstube as Sammy J Stitches. And the first I worked on was medium. The category was medium. And I seem to have a whole bunch of medium projects. A whole bunch of medium and small projects, which I don't understand why. Looks like somebody's getting ready to come in. And if somebody is here, I'm going to just turn the video off and then I'll come back on. So the first project for the project that I chose for medium is okay. So, I worked on Christmas Carol for my medium project. This is by Country Cottage Needleworks. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where I am now. So I added, if I'm remembering correctly, I added 340 stitches. So I know I added all of the ornaments here. And I believe I finished working on this railing or this bar. Because like all of the, like I have to add back stitching to all of this, so it's the ornaments are hanging from this bar, and then I can start adding the names of the carols. This is being stitched on a 28 count Lugana Succulent by Color and Cotton, and I'm using the called for DMCs, and that is where it is. So, the next project I worked on was for Whipgo, which is the brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She is also on Flosstube and Instagram, and there is a Facebook group for Whipgo. It will, look, y'all see? He moved his head. I was going to say he's right there. Albert. 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 Now he going to ignore me. He was just looking right there. That's him right there. Sorry. I know a lot of y'all like miss seeing him, so I was trying to show you, but you know. Anyway, it will be switching over to WIPGO 2026. I will be participating. I really enjoy WIPGO. I have been very successful the last few years with WIPGO, and so I will keep, I will keep my same goals. My goals for WIPGO is 500 stitches, and I have the entire year to get the 500 stitches, but I really love it. So WIPGO, I do my WIPGO board this year. It was by letter, and the number 25 was called, and for number 25 is the letter D for me. And for the letter D, I chose Daisy. And this is by It's So Emma for the Fat Quarter Shop. It is a it was a club that I was in this year for the Fat Quarter Shop. So what they did was, and I'll show you because I actually got the last one. Well, maybe not the last one, but I got one in the investment section. I'll show you the one that I just received. This is actually the one for January. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. I added 501 stitches to this. So I finished the word Daisy, and I put in the stem and the petals, the stem and the leaf petals. And I also came down here and put the border around. If you notice, I am not going to stitch on any of them the seed, the stitchy seed code and the numbers. I'm going to bring the border up, and that's where I'm going to have it at. So mine's will, okay, it'll be like that with the bottom border. So I am going to put the bottom border, those stitches in, but I'm not going to add the words or the number. I am stitching this on a 28 count whimsical, 32 count whimsical by Bestitch Me. And I am using the called for Classic Colorworks. These charts came with the Classic Colorworks to stitch the entire chart. So I have every one of them that I have came with the Classic Colorworks to stitch the chart. And that is where I am with that. So, maybe 2 more stitching sessions and I should have a finish on this. I have not decided that it would go on my year of whips because it doesn't have, it probably has maybe 300 to 400 more stitches, if that, to go. And so I'm not going to put it on my year of whips. It may go on my Bringo board, though. I am going to be participating in Bringo. That is the magazine. I'm in a lot of different groups. For those of you that are new, I do a lot of group stitching challenges and projects, and so it just gives me a way to organize my stitching so that I'm not looking at projects going, okay, what am I going to stitch on today? So I use those challenges to tell me what I'm going to stitch on for the month. So that was Daisies, and that was WIPGO, the number 25. The next project that I worked on was for Whippagories, and it is Fancy Lady. And for my Fancy Lady, I chose Bella Butterfly by Nora Corbett. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. No, I gotta put it on the board. And here is where it is now. So I added, this is part of the butterfly for the back of her headdress. I have hanging threads. And I put in all of this here. I put in 216 stitches on this project. My goal, which I should have said this, for Whippagories is 200 stitches per project. So there's 5 categories, so I normally get in at least 1,000 stitches for Whippagories every month. So I added more of this really dark hunter. It's dark, really dark. 50 is 500 here. And I added this design here and the butterfly. All of the empty spots you see here are all for beads. So there are a lot of beads on this project. I am stitching this on a 28 count. I know it's, I believe it's Color and Cotton. Color and Cotton Neptune, and I'm using the GMC floss for her. So that was my Fancy Lady. The next Whippagory category was monochromatic. And for that, I am using Cozy Christmas Cottage by Modern Folk Embroidery. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. Oh, I need to add that to my notes. And here is where it is now. So I finished off this tree, and I added the word Mary to the bottom. I put in 233 stitches on this project. I am stitching this on a 28 count white for my stat. It actually does not look white. It's more of a, I don't know, 28 count. It is a 28 count. And then I am using a Belle Soie tulip silk for it. If I had this to do over again, I would not use this. And the only reason why I say that is I love it. I love the variegation for the border, but not for the house. If I had a, this is the first time I've ever stitched on Belle Soie, with Belle Soie. I would have used just a plain DMC red for the house because it's too blotchy for me. But by the time I realized all of that, it was too late. So I'm going to just stick with it. But for the border, like I loved it in the border, which is why I kept going with it in the house and didn't pay attention. I also understand more now about variegated floss than I did when I was starting this. So with there being such a contrast or difference in the variegation of the floss. So if I had it to do over again, I would choose a more subtle variegation, but that is where I am with that project. And again, I don't know that, I probably need to look and see about putting that on my Year of Whips. The border for it is on the bottom is pretty large. But I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to put it on there or not. For Magazine Monthly, I am in the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge group, which is run by Robin Baker and Carolyn Zook. Please join us over there. We have a blast. They put out, Carolyn puts out the acrostic. Oh, I thought you could see him, but you can't. By the 15th of the month, we are actually gearing up now for Bringo. If you would like to join us, Bringo is an event that is ran the whole month of January. There are 25 prompts, and you stitch either 100 stitches or 1 hour per prompt. Well, per prompt, and it's very fun. So there are questions to be answered, so please come on over and join us. We would love to have you. So for this month, the theme is tapestry, and the acrostic is worm, W-O-R-M. So for my O, I used ornaments, and for ornaments, you put ornaments on a Christmas tree, right? So I pulled out another project that is on my Year of Whips this year that will not be getting finished, and it is Christmas Sentiments by Stony Creek. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here's where it's at now. So I added all of this. There's white snowflakes that I added. I added these poinsettia and the greens for all of it. It is a total, I added a total of 310 stitches to this, and that is all right here. This project will be going back on my Year of Whips again next year. I want this project completed. I am stitching this on a 28 count Harvest Moon by Color and Cotton, and I am using a thread conversion that I came up with because when I started stitching this, I did not have the called for, but it matches the called for. The red was a thread works, and then the greens, I just chose 2 greens that look similar. So once I get this poinsettia done, there's another, this tree is over here with 2 more birds. So I am going to put this on my Year of Whips for next year. These projects are, this is a larger project, and I just need to keep it in front of me better. And I want it finished. I've been working, I started this in 2021, and so it's time for it to be finished. Okay, so that was my O for worm. The next project that I worked on was for Whip Go, and it is the number 1, and my number 1 was the letter E. And so for the letter E, I worked on Christmas Elf Fairy by Mirabilia. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. Oh, Seraphim. And here is where it is now. So I'm not taking it out of the nerds because I still have to add more stitches to this. I'm literally working on the wing here. So I added 259 stitches. Actually, it's more than that. It was 300, it's 379 stitches. Yeah, 379 stitches. And I didn't mention this before, but my WIPGO goal is 500 stitches on the project. I might have mentioned that. So I still have more to go. So I have been working on this wing. There's an error, and that is why this looks like this. I'm going to try to back into it, because I cannot for the life of me figure out what I've done wrong. All of the empty spots that you see here are for beads. But this is where because I needed 500 stitches, I've decided like I need to work on the wing. So I am going to figure out what I did here. I have until the 31st to figure out where I messed up, because it all matches, but like I have 2 rows here. It's only supposed to be 1 row. I cannot for the life of me figure it out. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I am not good at fudging, although I'm going to figure it out, because I am not about to start taking out all this wing work. I am stitching this on a 28 count. Nope, it's 32. A 32 count Lugana. It is Sand Dune by Seraphim Fabrics. And I am using all silks on this. It was a thread conversion done by Miss Susan Coates of Keepsakes. And I'm going to back into it and figure it out. So now I'm going to come back up and work on the top part of the wing. I'm going to figure this all out down here. But I still have another 200 stitches to put in it to get it to complete it for its WIPGO. So that is where I am on Christmas Elf Fairy. And then, so I talked at the beginning that I went to the Jingle Ball, and I decided that I would have a Jingle Ball start. And I had a Jingle Ball start and a Jingle Ball finish. And it was... So I started on Friday night, Imprints Mary by Heart in Hand. I did use the called for flosses. They're overdyed. And here it is completed. So I stitched this on a 28 count mushroom. The called for is 32 count. I wanted it a little bit bigger than what the 32 count was. So that's what I stitched it on. And I'm missing 3 stitches. I just saw it. So I need to put in these 3 stitches right here. But that's where I'm at. Again, another Heart in Hand, which I absolutely love. I will be, I don't know if it'll be before Christmas, but I will be stitching the Fa La La also on the same fabric. with the same thread colors. So that was my SAF for the weekend. I literally, anytime the entire time that I was on, well, I actually finished it on Sunday. So I worked on my gridiron grind while I was on the Jingle Ball for Sunday. But I worked on it Friday, Saturday in parts, and I finished it on Sunday. So that was great. And those are my whips and everything that I've worked on from the last Flosstube 151 till today. Because I started on Elegant Lace today, and that's the only thing that I've stitched on today. I will be putting, I might maybe put some stitches in on my I'm going to put some more stitches in on Elegant Lace. So we'll see where I get to. So for my plans, I had initially thought that I would start Christmas Tiny Town today. I do not believe that I'm going to do that. I may start it for Christmas Eve. It's supposed to be my 14th of the month to start, but because of Elegant Lace and recording a video and all the things, I am going to hold off and probably start it on Christmas Eve. On the 18th of December, I will be starting, it is by Shaded Stitchery. These are my plans, if I didn't say that. So the color purple came out, I believe it was 40 years ago on December the 18th. And for that, I will be stitching a sampler for Shelia, which is designed by Shaded Stitchery. She is on Gumroads. I will have her information in the description box below. She has some awesome charts. I have a lot of her charts. So I, love Nori and her designs. So I will be starting a sampler for Shelia on December the 18th, which is the anniversary of the movie The Color Purple being released in theaters. And starting on Sunday, December the 21st, I'll be going back to Seasonal Sundays. And for the Seasonal Sundays, I am doing Rosewood Manor Quakers. And December the 21st is the start of winter. So I will be working on the Winter Quakers, which is this one. And for those of you that are new here, I've been working on this for quite a long time. So I'm, going to continue working on it, and I will work on it for the 3 months of the winter season. And then I'll do spring. I have all 4 of them started, and this will be my Seasonal Sunday stitch going forward for 2026, or all the Rosewood Manor seasons. So, and I would show it to you, but it is on a scroll rod in my bedroom because I forgot to bring it out. So you'll see it next time. Well, maybe you'll see it in my whip parade, because I'm going to do a whip parade, so you'll see it then. So now I'm going to share with you a few investments that I have, and then I will let you go to your next floss tube. I know there are a lot of floss tubes and Flossmas videos circulating, and so I know that your time is very valuable. I put in order. I will be, first, I got my first Christmas card by Miss Dina, and she is Stay Stitch. Sit, Stay, Stitch. on Flosstube, and she sent me this beautiful little angel card. Thank you, Miss Dina, for your Christmas card. I actually thought I have, I'll share the other ones with you next time, because I don't know where I put them. They weren't put in the basket where they should have been. I placed an order with Live and Die LA. I will put her information. It's a Facebook group down. She also has a website down in the description box below. I will be starting Who Let the Frogs Out, which is by Heartstring Samplery. So I ordered Emerald Isle, and that's what I'll be stitching, Who Let the Frogs Out. I'm also will be starting a new dragon for 2026 with my friend Kevin of Akio Whips. And I chose Northern Lights. And as you can see, like, it's very dark, but it has other colors in it. So when I think of a dragon, you know how dragon scales are iridescent and they shimmer? That's what I thought of when I saw this. And then I'm, of course, you know, purple. And so this was, I think, color of the month, because it says September 25 on it. And I'm always, you know, down for a good purple. So that I received from Live and Die LA. I also received my seed packet of the month from Fat Quarter Shop, and it is luminous, I think that's how you pronounce it. This is actually the October one, so the November and the December ones are still left to come. Ilium, Lilium, Linum, Linus. Okay, I'm not going to say it. So, I did a little bit of Christmas shopping for myself. I shop for myself all the time. So, I picked up this cute little Happy Charms. It is by Lori Holt, and it is a butterfly. So, I picked that up. And I also picked up 2 packages of 32 count Vintage Country Mocha Lugana. I will be, next year, we're doing, a group of us are doing specialty stitches. And I plan on doing the Erica Michaels specialty stitch booklet. I don't know if she is selling it. I know it used to be free on the Threadworks website. But I think I think she is also selling it on her website, Erica Michaels. And so I will be starting that. And so I picked up some Lugana, so that I can start learning how to do a few specialty stitches. And those are my investments. I actually purchased quite a bit of, and I'm just not showing it here, but I purchased some quilting fabrics because I am going to get back into quilting. And so I needed to purchase some quilting fabric. There, you know, Black Friday sales were going on. And so I made some purchases for me. Because, you know, I buy my own Christmas gifts all the time. It doesn't faze me anymore. Because I know what I want, and I get what I want. So, I think that is all I have to share. I hope you all are doing very well. We are in the midst of a polar vortex, which means that like the jet stream from Canada has dropped down really low. It was 7 degrees here today. We had a winter storm warning. Like we've had snow. We've got a polar vortex. You know, the weather is crazy. It's very cold outside. Albert goes out and runs right back in. And I don't even stand there looking at him. I shut the door behind him because it is so cold. It is freezing out there. So I hope you all are doing well. I know that there are, the holidays are right around the corner. Happy Hanukkah to those of you that celebrate. For those of you, you know, I know this is also a very difficult time for a lot of people. So please check in on your people, because you never know what somebody is going through. Again, I say that all the time. You never know what somebody is going through, and you could be the one that brightens a person's day. So please remember to check in with your people, and make sure everyone is doing okay. I will see you again. Hopefully it will not be 2.5 weeks again when I see you, although we will be coming up on the Christmas holiday. So I am planning on putting out a plans video and a whip parade. I have been putting my whips into notions, and I am over 100. So it will be a long whip parade. All right, everyone. Take care of yourselves and stay warm. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.